Hello everybody, Jake, your resident content cowboy here, yeehaw, and today is all about Boost Emblems on the channel. I'm going to have Boost Emblem builds for every single Pokemon in Unite, and we are also going to start out with our Boost Emblem color tier list. I wanted to do a tier list for every single emblem in the game, but that's a little much, and there are 100 of them, which is kind of crazy, and a lot of them just fall into this middle area. So as I'm going through Boost Emblems later in another video for Pokemon builds, you'll hear me talk about which emblems make it into builds quite often, which ones are nice to have gold, which ones are nice to have bronze, but this video, couldn't say the word bronze, this video is all about the colors, what they do, and where they rank on today's tier lists. On Mondays, we do tier lists, a little late, and on Wednesdays we wear pink.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Well, I'm very happy for you.
I'm very important. I have many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
I have this up in a very simple S to E. Should that be E? Changed it to an F because it's the worst tier. We got our S tier, A tier, B tier. Still got the B tier. Got our C tier, D tier, and F tier, and I'm going to talk about the color, what they do, and where I think they fall on this tier list. This being said, I think there are going to be some changes to the emblem system as it goes on. We're going to see exactly how that works out, but for now, this is where things land. I'm going to start off with an S tier choice right here, and that is black. It's a little difficult to see on there, but you can see that black went up to the S tier right here. I think black is the best emblem set in general. It is cooldown reduction. So it has a 3, 5, and 7 unlock as 2%, 4%, and 8% cooldown reduction if you have 7 black on your emblem wheel. Cooldown reduction is how much of a reduction in waiting time it is between using moves. In Pokemon Unite, there is no mana system, there is no anything outside of cooldown on your moves, meaning the faster you can use your moves, the faster you can do something that for most Pokemon is the most important thing that Pokemon can do. If the cooldown on Wigglytuff's Sing, for example, is lower, you will be able to sing more often, becoming more and more effective with that Pokemon. If Talonflame's Fly cooldown is reduced, you'll be able to do more damage, get out of situations faster. It's just so very important for many Pokemon, especially special attackers, because it combos so well with a popular emblem build. I think black is kind of unbelievably good. If you happen to have a basic 7 black emblem setup and you just didn't want to mess around with too many different builds or anything like that, you could run it on every Pokemon and you would at least be getting value from it. After black, a lot of these are interesting to place, and I think the one that I would want to put into A tier is probably brown, or to me, orange. I swear to you, it looks orange to me. I don't know, but I get that it's brown. It just looks freaking orange to me. Maybe I'm colorblind. Orange has 3 levels to unlock as well. 2, 4, and 6 orange emblems gives you 1%, 2%, and 4% attack. I think the thing about orange is if you're an attack-focused Pokemon, this is pretty good. Although I feel like almost everything pales in comparison to cooldown, this is pretty good. So if you're thinking about a Pokemon like, let's say, Zarina or Lucario or something like that, where you're already stacking an item like an attack weight to give yourself more attack, this is a nice little bonus that you can add on top of that. If you're using a Pokemon like Cinderace and you're just always kicking your basic attacks, this will give you a percentage extra attack. So everything you do is increasing a little bit. The fact of the matter is the bonus isn't really that huge, truthfully. Even if you're looking at a level 15 Pokemon, I mean, you might be increasing your attack by a factor of kind of a stack and a half of an attack weight. So this is why, by the way, an attack weight or something like that can be so good on some of these Pokemon. I still think this is a solid choice, but at the same time, not insanely amazing. I think it's probably better to focus on certain things inside the emblems than just getting 6 brown. A nice bonus, it gives you more damage, and again, a lot of attack Pokemon, not only are your basic attacks getting benefit from it, but everything inside your kit is, which is why I'd put this into the A category. I think it's pretty dang good. On to our B category, we have green. Special attack is in our B category. Now, the interesting thing about this is special attack, it's very similar to attack, 1%, 2%, 4%. Increased special attack. It isn't as useful as attack, in my opinion. Oftentimes, special attackers actually don't even scale as well as attackers, so it's why attack weight is better oftentimes than special attack specs, but it adds extra damage to everything a special attacker is doing. And the thing about green is it combos so incredibly with black that it's just kind of there. If you're using a black build, a black-green build for special attackers is so easy to make, and it combos so incredibly well. But the bonus you get from special attack is, it's fine. It's fine. It's just not, when you really break down the math of it, it's fine. It's not going to do anything crazy. It's fine. Good. It's good. It's B. It's good. For the sake of ranking these, I want things in every tier just to show some sort of variation between it, and I think it would look pretty. But also, I mean, I think there's an argument that some of these are just a little better than others. Let's talk about white. One of the issues with white is the same issue that you're kind of running into with brown and green, blue, purple, is that these values aren't that massive when you look at it. White, just like the others, it's 2, 4, 6, and it does 1% HP, 2% HP, and 4% HP. Even on a level 15 Blissey with 6 white emblems, you're still only talking about an additional 400 HP at a level that Blissey essentially will never attain throughout a match of Pokemon Unite. You throw that on a lower level Pokemon, on a lower HP Pokemon like Greninja or something like that, I think it might give you 200 HP at level 15. So the value is just not exactly what you would think. You could actually get more value just by throwing HP emblems, emblems that increase HP as a base stat onto an emblem wheel, and I will talk about that more when I show emblem builds for every single Pokemon in the game. The fact is, building directly for white doesn't seem that beneficial at all. It's just build towards black. Just build towards black. I mean, as a broad rule of thumb, I would just say if you built towards black on every single Pokemon, you would at least, again, be getting some value. The HP is not exactly where it needs to be. I think a lot of the values that you see on this emblem wheel are just not that intense. They really aren't. They probably need to be tuned up. If black stayed exactly how it was, but all of these got some buffs, I think we'd have more arguments for using different colors. Moving down to our D tier, let's talk about red. Red is really interesting because it's kind of good on some Pokemon and then not good at all on other Pokemon. It's just extremely situational. Not terrible, but just insanely situational. So I'm just gonna put red here because it's kind of a bait. The thing about red is you think you're increasing attack speed, and sometimes you are, and sometimes you're not. And it's kind of a mess. It's not a super strong system inside Pokemon Unite. Attack speed is a very messy system. I have a few videos on my channel about it, but just know that it only works correctly on a few Pokemon, and the best thing to do with red is just stay far away from it, or later when you see my Boost Emblem video for each Pokemon, I will let you know which Pokemon can actually take decent advantage of red. Also hanging out in the D tier just for the moment is pink. Pink's a really interesting setup here, and I think pink could actually be really good, like maybe really, really good, but we don't have enough pink emblems to even get to 7 pink, which is 16% reduced hindrance effect duration. Obviously, more emblems are coming. We only have 99 of the first 151 Pokemon. I think it's very reasonable to assume they will at least finish the Gen 1 Pokédex inside of emblems. Maybe even do something different. Maybe they'll just drop Gen 1, move over to Gen 2, or whatever, Gen 5, and they'll just start adding more emblems. Soon we will know how beneficial this is. I like running 3 pink on Greedent. I think it's fun to run, you know, this hindrance reduction on Pokemon that are kind of up in the enemy face a lot, taking a lot of stuns and slows. We won't really know how good this is until we can make 7 pink, but, you know, once we can make 7 pink, I think this might be super viable. My D tier on this list is just full of things that are kind of either up in the air or really, really specific. So that's where red and pink hang out for me. Heading into our F tier, I want to talk about 2 emblem sets at the same time, and that's blue and purple. I like blue and purple because they're so easy to combo. The problem is blue and purple provide very, very little actual value inside the game. At 2, 4, and 6, you get 2%, 4%, and 8% special defense and defense. Defense for blue, special defense for purple. One issue is maybe if these were even just the same emblem, maybe it would be a little bit better. For instance, if blue and purple was somehow, you know, it's one color, it's just blue, just purple, and it comboed really well with lots of other emblem sets, and it gave you both defenses at maybe even slightly higher of a percentage, it would be a little better. The thing is, giving yourself 8% defense, 8% special defense, most Pokemon's special defense stat is not very high in general. Even if you built fully for this, it's kind of the equivalent of just having a focus band on. So if you have fully built out special defense and you are a level 15 Wigglytuff who has the highest special defense inside Pokemon Unite, this is kind of just equivalent of having the defenses from a focus band on once you are level 15. Now, exactly how defenses break down into guarding you against damage is a calculation that I don't have in front of me, but the gist of it is this just doesn't provide much value at all. A lot of the builds that I have been suggested by people who are deep in the weeds of in the math side of Pokemon Unite, like people at the math cord, people who work on Unite DB, they are suggesting that it's just really almost no value on some of these defense percent emblems. It just really isn't value there. You can make pairs pretty easily, so I mean, I'm not against you making pairs with them. It's just any type of focus on blue-purple is not going to get you the return you think it will. Now we have yellow, and yellow's weird. I almost want to put yellow in D tier, but I think, to be honest, it's probably closer to an F tier. It's just... maybe it's D because it's insanely situational, right? But maybe it's F because the situations that it comes up in aren't very good. Yellow is a really interesting one because it's basically, it reminds me a lot of Floatstone, where, first off, we can't even make 7 yellow right now. Maybe if we could make 7 yellow, I would like it more. Maybe, I don't know. But you get increased movement speed when out of combat, just like an item like Floatstone or Leftovers. The time you need to be out of combat to really make this sing is a ways. So you're kind of in this weird situation. In Pokemon Unite, you don't spend a ton of your time out of combat. You're either at an objective, in path, fighting the enemy, or taking experience. Regardless, you're doing something in combat kind of a lot in Pokemon Unite. And when you are, yes, it's nice to get somewhere a little bit faster, but to not go somewhere quite as fast, however you could get something like better cooldown on your moves or even just more HP or something like that, it just feels so insanely specific. You would have to have such a good plan for it, and it probably only works on a couple of the most narrow strategies you could think of. Maybe, you know, the Floatstone invade a little bit. You're getting some value from this. The other problem is as soon as you attack, you lose it. I don't know. It's just a tough one. It's a really tough one. They can't make it too fast because then all of a sudden you're this weird cheesy thing running around that's just way too quick. But at the same time, maybe just the fix for items like that, Leftovers, Floatstone, and yellow is to make the out of combat time shorter, so they activate a little bit faster. If something like that happened, I think yellow could be a lot more viable. Also, if it comboed more with other builds, yellow could be a lot more viable and easy to use. For now, I just feel like it's so weird and niche, and you don't need it, although it's kind of cool when it's happening. It's just so brief. And now a color that is not on our color wheel, but I want to add it to represent something. This little kind of light bluish aqua looking color I'm using to represent critical hits. It is not a color inside of the emblem system, but it is something that the emblem system can give you, and I think it is right up there with black. So the thing about certain emblems in Pokemon Unite is they give you critical hit, and critical hit from emblems, they can give you up to 10% if you were able to get 10 gold critical hit emblems like Pokemon like Sandslash, Meowth, Persian. Those Pokemon all are critical hit based. So they give you a base stat of crit, and again, 10% crit is the equivalent of more than having a level 30 scope, lens, and Razor Claw on a Pokemon. So you can increase the output of crits your Pokemon does exponentially. That's not the right term for this. I remember using exponentially around math people. That's not how it works, but you get what I'm saying. You increase it in a big way. So you could take a Pokemon that has 10% critical hit. I believe, let me look it up right now as I'm talking about this, but I believe Aegislash has 10% critical hit as its crit rate, or I think Talonflame does as well. Aegislash, 10% critical hit. Talonflame, 10% critical hit. You could take a Pokemon like that and double the amount of critical hit potential for these Pokemon using these critical hit emblems. Is that going to be the best build for them? Maybe, not necessarily. The other thing about critical hits is on most Pokemon, honestly, most Pokemon, especially Pokemon that can critically hit, if you just wanted to run a full critical hit emblem page, I honestly don't think it would be that bad at all. There are better options, just like running 7 black on everything is not the best. There are better options, but it's really not bad. It really isn't. It's not bad to take a Pokemon like Garchomp. It has 20% critical hit. Give it a scope lens, that's another 6%, and then give it 10% crit hit. You know, you just up its ability to crit a lot. All of a sudden, you have a 36% critical hit chance on Garchomp. You're critically hitting all the time with your big boosted attacks. Is it the absolute best? Maybe not, but it's not bad. It's not even bad to run full critical hit on Eldegoss or something like that. I have a video coming out later with Eldegoss and Pikachu running full critical hit. Is it the most optimal? No, but you're a basic attacking all the time. It is increasing your critical hit chance a bit, and you're just getting extra bursts of damage a lot. I think critical hit is incredibly good. So there are our emblem colors tier list. Again, I will have emblem builds for every single Pokemon today in a longer video coming very, very soon. But taking a look at it here, black and crit, that is that aqua looking thing, is our S tier. I think brown, green are both pretty good. I think brown's a little bit better just because it affects everything inside of an attacker's kit usually. So it's your basic attacks and your moves and your Unite move, everything inside of it there, especially Pokemon like Lucario. It affects your passive as well. And I've noticed that attackers scale oftentimes better on attack than special attackers do on special attack. Green, pretty good special attacker. You're going to want it. White, it's all right. It's deceptive. Red and pink, very situational. We don't have enough pink to really use correctly. And then red is just incredibly situational. And then blue, purple, combo as well, but doesn't give you much of a bonus. Yellow is just kind of a weird... It's weird. Yellow is just very weird. I hope that was super helpful. More cool stuff coming today. Sorry I didn't get this out a little earlier. I've been very busy getting everything ready to head to London very soon. I'm going to be casting the Pokemon Unite World Championships, and I feel like I don't have anything ready, but I'm trying my best. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. More cool stuff coming soon. I love you. Mwah. Real quick, add some colors that aren't on there. There we go. Yeah. And that's why I think Peach is just so incredibly strong. You've got sort of This more, this little darker green, which is even better. It gives you more special attack. And then, of course, maroon. Maroon is really incredible. Maroon gives you good lookingness, and I think that makes your Pokemon a lot better. So there is my emblem color tier list.